Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to another recording of Hearthstone. Today is Friday, August 24th, which is far too close to September for my liking. I have so much work to do. Yeah, so much work to do. And I'm falling further and further behind again. I need to play 6 elementals, I need to cover the news. I spent almost all of this week doing the Boomsday Project puzzle levels, and now I need to chop up those videos in some way, which will take even more work. So that's may not happen for a while, come to think of it. And I need to play 2 elementals and cover all the news. We're trying to do an accelerated news here. Let's see. If I'm playing Freeze Mage on the right play, then I'm gonna have some elementals in that. So I'm skipping games that might be good looking and just mentioning the bad games and mentioning the news. And then maybe we'll have enough time to come back and start looking at games that look above absolute garbage. That way I can spend more time on that.
You asked for it.
I also have a daily quest on the Americas account, a Monster Hunt quest, so there's something to do there, and I still have the Asian account to deal with. Game of Citra has an article, THQ Nordic team up brings select Microsoft Studio games to Steam. Microsoft has pinned an agreement with THQ Nordic to see the 2 companies join forces to give 5 Microsoft Studios published games both Steam and physical releases next month. It's not unheard of Microsoft to release its games on Steam, despite usually favoring its own Microsoft Store for PC games, but the team up with THQ Nordic is a rare move for the company. Seems like Microsoft is doing everything and anything to grow. The Microsoft Studio Games Recore Definitive Edition, which was an unfinished garbage game. Super Lucky's Tale, which maybe that was good, but maybe it wasn't. Disneyland Adventures. I think Disneyland Adventures might sell itself just because it has the word Disneyland in it, but otherwise I'm not sure it has anything else to say for itself. And then Rush, a Disney Pixar adventure, again a kids game, so probably not great, but it'll sell. And then Zoo Tycoon Ultimate Animal Collection, which maybe some nostalgic people would play Zoo Tycoon. Both are coming to Steam and physical storefronts through THQ partnership that was announced at Gamescom. Each of these games previously hit Xbox One and the Microsoft Store in late 2017 and will be arriving on Steam September 14th. So honestly, it's going to be all that's going to come out rather quickly too. But I don't think anything fixes Recore. So September 14th will be an interesting day when we look at what's on Steam. Gematsu has an article, Crystar full-length trailer. Crystar is an action RPG game. I think we've seen it's due out for the PS4 October 18th in Japan. There's been no talk of it coming to the West yet. I wouldn't be surprised if it did come to the West, but it actually takes a year or 2 to get there. Skipping through the trailer, it actually looks pretty interesting. Japanese anime RPG magical girl type thing with a dark theme, slightly darkish theme. Let's do this and that. So yeah, I'd like to see Crystar come out to the West on PC. What I wouldn't like to see come out on Steam or on PC is Brick Breaker with Risa, which is a awful looking Arkanoid clone. I don't know what happened this week, why there were so many ugly looking, like Windows 95 looking graphics games coming out, but it's seeing a lot of them. Gametto has an article. The comedy action RPG Super Kane Magic Zero is coming to the PS4 and Switch in 2018. Let's see, it's currently in Steam Early Access. And do we have a date for when they're coming out to the other things? Freeze all enemies. Oh, just any turn. Late 2018 is all it says. The Steam page is 94% positive of 120 user reviews. It's early access. It's a I don't know what you call this, cyanide and happiness style art style. Is that what I call this? A Western style deformed cartoony webcomic animation style, which looks like it is some kind of very fastly paced top-down, maybe twin stick shooter might be what you call it, or Smash TV style clone arena battler against, I think, enemies. Well, it does have multiplayer too. Whatever this game is, it looks unique and it has positive ratings, which are two things that that should be considerations. Turn. Deal 2 damage to all other characters. So yeah, Super Kane Magic Zero, something maybe to look at. Of course, I don't even have right now a place to put games that I'm agreeing on or want to put on my wish list, because I haven't even looked at the other games. So best thing I could do is try and drag this tab all the way to the left and then hope that I can find where I was before.
I wonder.
Okay. Are we ready? Do 4 damage to everything? I don't think so.
What to do?
Here's a funny story. PC Gamer has this article. Congressman indicted for misuse of campaign funds, including $1,500 for Steam games. I don't know if I've really spent that much. I would guess I'm closer to somewhere between $600 and $900 that I've spent on Steam games, and I've gotten more than enough for 3 or 4 years of streaming, and I've got lots and lots of games that I could be playing and not enough time. So I don't know what you're doing there that you get that high, unless you're doing microtransactions on Steam or buying like Dota 2 items and money laundering somehow that way. There is software on Steam, so I could see spending $1,500 maybe on even one single item. Why didn't I play this earlier? Let's see.
An incredible discovery.
Yeah, I could see spending $1,500 on some specialty software and through Steam. This is Representative Duncan Hunter and his wife were charged for campaign finance fraud to the tune of $250,000 in misused funds. So they were spending money like crazy. At that point, if you're spending $250,000 of campaign funds, $15,000 on Steam games probably isn't a lot. When questioned about these charges back in April 2016, his spokesman threw Hunter's son under the bus, stating that the teenager had purchased one Steam game with the campaign credit card and the rest of the charges were unauthorized. So, I don't know if they're trying to make the argument that the campaigns, credit cards, information was stolen, or what. Hunter has arbitrated these and other expenditures as mistakes or accidents, saying in 2016, there was no taxpayer money involved. I take full responsibility. The Hunters will be arraigned in San Diego on Thursday, and that was 3 days ago, so this is a potential developing story, although not very much really about video games. I saw in the news he said this was just like a political witch hunt, which is, I guess, what everybody says. $15,000 on Steam, though. I mean, you're talking buying everything brand new, getting your hands on everything you can possibly find. Yeah, it just seems crazy amount of money to spend. Let's see. We have McMillian. Says love Hearthstone, and then he says, can you look at my channel please? I make skits and loads of random S. I like the stream too. I don't have time to look at other YouTubers, quite simply, and the whole like for likes or view for view idea. I failed to play the elemental cards that I needed to play. Let's go back to Shaman. You're never gonna get anywhere with YouTube begging other YouTubers to watch your video. There's a clear division between viewers who watch your videos and people who make YouTube videos. People who make YouTube videos don't have time, and so you're just not gonna get anywhere with that. And not with me, and not with anybody else.
Victory or death for Doom.
Recently, also, as a side note, I was raided by a small YouTuber, and it got me like 7 subscriptions, and they actually hurt my video because they came in for less than the average watch time, which for me is about 4 minutes, which is actually rather high. Because when you average out people who click on a video on accident and then leave in the first second, people who watch a video 5 times in a row, for as rare as that would happen, 4 minutes is actually rather high. It's higher than like the Creator Insiders statistics. But But yeah, rating doesn't help. Small-time YouTubers working with other small-time YouTubers doesn't help. The only thing that would help is if you had some kind of connections so you could work with a very big YouTuber.
I don't have enough mana.
Like, if you had a brand new channel and you got a shout out from PewDiePie, then that would get you a bump in subscribers, certainly, but a lot of those people would never watch another one of your videos anyways. Don't really have time to go into that though, so yeah. Rock Paper Shotgun has an article, Exapunks is a difficult and satisfying hack 'em up. Exapunks looks like a game I definitely want to play at some point, as soon as I find some time. There's really nothing else to say here. I don't even think Rock Paper Shotgun gives ratings or numbers, so they're just writing an article reviewing a game, which is also something that I don't read. Let's see.
I wonder.
Let's play this. Let's see. It's probably a garbage game. Looking at a game called Tales from the Grave, all one word, and Tales spelled with a Z. And looks like it's a bunch of Halloween-like characters running around and casting spells on each other. Let's see. Environmental. Yeah, this Tales from the Grave looks like an asset flip game. It looks pretty bad. It's $2.99. Is there anything else to really say here? Yeah, just not visually appealing or polished enough to look like a game worth even mentioning. That one is one worth looking at. Your Gamer has an article, Rare Dates and Details Sea of Thieves Big Forsaken Shores content update. And if anybody is still playing Sea of Thieves, I guess they would be happy with that.
Put this apple on your head.
Okay.
Okay, Hitchy, go, get him.
Attack there. So yeah. GameIndustry.biz has an article here. Blizzard's quote, "Who is your red shirt guy?" At DevCom this week, Blizzard's Sarah Smith advises developers to find and celebrate the stars of in their communities, which is an interesting thought because at the moment a lot of video game publishers and developers are too busy calling everybody toxic, calling all their fans toxic and being mad at them. This is an article I might want to read. Let's see. Later, so I'm gonna hold on to that article and maybe read it off later on if I have any time. God, man, I'm just complaining about having no time. Hearthstone has ruined me. The Boomsday Project, it really had no reason to even come out this month. Yeah, I would have been fine had it come out in October or November or December. I don't see a reason why it was so rushed.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
Your Gamer has an article. The Walking Dead, the complete first season, launches next week on Switch. Which includes all the first season of Walking Dead and the 400 Days DLC, which doesn't really play much of a role in the story at all. So people could play that on the Switch now. But they're on to the fourth and final season, excluding the Michonne DLC.
Put this apple on your head.
Let's see, can I play this and this? No, but I can do this. And I can do this. Let's see. Your Gamer has an article. Crytek's multiplayer Swamp Horror Hunt Showdown is heading to the Xbox One. Hunt Showdown, I think, is a game I've seen before. And yeah, it's like PUBG, except for you're in a Mississippi, Louisiana bayou killing monsters for gold. So it's not PUBG where you're killing other players. You're competing against other players killing monsters, but the monsters are the things you're supposed to be shooting at. Let's see. After you play an elemental, cast an elemental invitational. Can I do this? Would this survive? I want to see what an elemental invitational is.
Astonishing. Ready to ride.
Yeah, Hunt Showdown still doesn't look super interesting to me. Maybe it will come out and get some more buzz. Oh, they killed my elemental guy. Yeah, you suck.
Shall we make a storm?
How about that? How about that?
Stormy, stormy.
And here. And here. And just, you know, if I had just ended my turn and not attacked anything, I might have won. Let's see, the question is, will I be 7? Like, well, I don't know. None of these are anything but elementals. So, play this, do this, play this, play this. So 14 plus another 6 would be 20. Had I been given another, wait, how did I get that? 12, yeah, plus that would be 20. So I could have done 28 damage, which wouldn't have been enough anyways. So kill everything we can kill.
Thunderstruck.
Let's see, PC Gamer has an article. Get Dead by Daylight and Bioshock Remastered in the Humble Spooky Horror Bundle, which I guess that is there, so we'll talk about that later when I get to the Humble store. Can do 3 damage. this. I can play both of these. Here. PC Gamer has an article, The Gardens Between, A Tale of Childhood Friendship and Time Travel, comes out next month.
Blood
Don't
and
recall this game. Let's see, it will be released on Steam on September 20th. Like, I haven't even heard of this game. So many times I say games sound like they're overhyped, but this one I would say is underhyped. Okay, now I remember what this one is. This is a weird, surreal, time rewinding manipulation game where you're walking around different paths. Let's see. This one. That one. Since those were rush minions anyways. Let's see. Yeah, the Gardens Between looks interesting enough to keep an eye on it. Of course, I probably would see it anyways. What's on Steam would probably tell me when it comes out, September 20th. But suppose I'm not super upset. 10 plus this would be 9 plus 13 plus 6 would be 19. I'm like 1 mana short. 1 mana short of a victory. Let's see. Gamatsu has an article, Una and the Haunted Hot Springs Steam Dungeon Japanese TV Spot, a roguelike RPG due out November 15th in Japan. Let's see what this trailer looks like. It's a 30-second video. Looks like it's a bunch of girls running around a dungeon crawler RPG, but it has the split animation style where the dungeon crawling looks like it's a cell phone 3D chibi characters, and then every now and then you might get to see some flat 2D animation. Perfect Blue? No, not Perfect Blue. That's not the name of that series I'm thinking of. And that's almost certainly not what that recommended video is anyways. Maybe it was called Blue Gender? There's this old anime where a guy gets frozen, he wakes up in the future, he gets drafted to fight these giant bugs. It's actually a rather cool little anime, but it's pretty old. Drives a mecha robot. Now it's time to move over to the Asian account, so still plenty of things to do. Let's see, so launch, and let's see. As far as Yuna, that's spelled Y-U-U-N-A, in the Haunted Hot Spring, it doesn't look like it's much of a game, and I doubt it will come to the West for several reasons. Okay. I can't reroll any of these, so I may have to build a pirate deck. Or maybe I'll get incredibly lucky, come over here and do the tavern brawl, take the rogue, and see if there's any pirates in the rogue deck. Gematsu has an article, Resident Evil 2 Gamescom 2018, Claire and Leon gameplay. I've been sitting on this video for a while. This Resident Evil 2 remake looks very much like Resident Evil 7 in graphics. Total new quality. Not playing a really old game or a remake of an old game. It feels like a Resident Evil 4, 5, 6 style of gameplay. Hopefully closer to 4 than 6. It's weird that they don't like that they kind of dropped the ball after Resident Evil 4. But yeah, I kind of inherently just don't think that Capcom understands what makes Resident Evil popular outside of Japan, and they're only interested in making a Japanese horror game and then trying to sell that Japanese horror game to the rest of the world, where I would argue that there's so much worldwide popularity for the Resident Evil series that it's not, it wouldn't fall under the general description of a Japanese horror game. It's not set in a Japanese environment ever, and it has much more shooting and action going on. Claire is in this trailer that I'm watching. She's found this little girl and she's trying to help her. This little girl's head is probably big enough that you could bend one of the bars and let her through. And let her crawl through. Draw a weapon from your deck. Am I ready to draw a weapon from my deck? Draw 2 minions from your deck.
I wonder.
Say something with Death Rattle.
New shinies.
What does this one do? Trigger the Death Rattle of a random friendly minion. Interesting idea. Yep. The other one is another video with Claire. Yep, it's mostly just showing Claire running around fighting a few enemies in these trailers, though. The thing you could probably take from it is that all these trailers are in very dark areas that don't have a lot of textures. You're not in big wide open areas fighting large groups of zombies, which that might be a slight concern.
So many options.
Let's see. Play this. And then play this.
Here we
Kill
go.
this one. It feels like there's multiple videos here that kind of are showing the exact same clips, and then there's one video showing Leon Kennedy, which honestly I'm not sure I have a big interest or like for Leon S. Kennedy pre-Resident Evil 4, and even if you actually go back to Resident Evil 4, he's kind of not that great of a character. He's just in a really good game, so you tend to forget it.
I wonder.
So destroy one enemy minion.
Monsters behind you!
Destroy 2 enemy minions. Trigger the death rattle. Summon a 1/1 copy.
Here we
Yeah,
go.
let's do that actually.
Once was a man from Gilneas.
Too soon.
Job done.
And yeah, Leon Kennedy's trailer is basically just showing the same things too. He's not in big open areas. Probably in Resident Evil 2 you're never gonna be in big open areas. I think in this trailer he's actually in the police station where Claire was in a just parking garage. The police station is an area that people at least kind of know of. Trigger a friendly death rattle twice. Can I play this and combo? Not really.
There once was a man from Gilneas.
Backstab!
Yeah, not super impressive videos. I know though that Resident Evil 2's remake is not that close to being ready and done.
Of creation.
PC Gamer has an article. Assassin's Creed Odyssey cinematic showcases a world of Greek fantasy. There's like Medusas. There is something that occurs to me. Because of Assassin's Creed's weirdness about how you're playing as a character in the future and your DNA has the memories of your ancestors. Because Assassin's Creed Odyssey lets you now play as either a male or a female character, brother who happen to be brother and sister, you run into apparently there's also going to be trolls and things. You run into this weird point where at some point past the brother and sister, if both of them exist in the storyline and it's not a case of you pick to play as the male and then the male is the only person that existed actually in history, or you pick to play as the female and then the female is the only one to play. Let's see. That was another death rattle minion. Let's see. Summon a 1/1 copy
Backstab!
of this.
Such a price for power!
Like, at some point, the brother and sister must have, their family lines must have inbred, crossbred back so that your DNA would be as part of both of their DNAs. And this being set in Greek times, you almost wonder, I doubt Ubisoft would do this, but you almost wonder if at some point it's going to be implied or directly shown that the brother and sister of these two characters do have some kind of, I mean, you gotta explain, someone somewhere has to explain it at some point. Like, if they went to an orgy and or ended up sleeping with each other, that would be the direct first generational inbreeding. But it could also be something as simple as, like, each one of them had kids and then their kids inbred, or you just push it down more and more generations. But it's still a direct line. Somebody is gonna have to sleep with their cousin for the weird DNA of Assassin's Creed Odyssey to make any sense. Or the timeline simply must be in a case where only one of those characters actually existed. It's ridiculous that such implications are brought up in the first place, but that's just Assassin's Creed's weirdness. Maybe they'll explain it that there's actually a glitch in the system and they can't tell in the memory if you're actually playing as this person or this other person. That the historical records are getting off. It doesn't really have much to do with, that really doesn't have anything to do with Assassin's Creed Odyssey though. Otherwise it's Odyssey looks like it's going to go into more of a weird way and just continue to push the Assassin's Creed series in a different direction than what it originally was.
Converting stored energy.
Here we have a game called Anime Solitaire on Steam. It's tagged with sexual content and nudity. It's solitaire with anime girls on the cards. There was a brief point where there was a push in early DOS games to have a standard for card sets, so that you could get and share card sets that were animated and they would work in several different solitaire games. Solitaire games being super popular at Windows 3.1 levels, in particular in Windows 95 level, because that's basically all PCs could run. I doubt this is an open source game or a standardized card set files. I doubt. I kind of question whether this game even owns the rights to these images at all. It doesn't look super great. It has 100 Steam achievements, so you know it's just an achievement game, and it's 40% off for $2.99. So yeah, Anime Solitaire, not something that people should reasonably look at. It is from somebody who's released a bunch of games, and actually quite a bit of them have been rated high, because I imagine the people that are rating them are people that want achievement games, which puts the whole rating system into question, and it kind of always has been. Let's see, magnetic and poisonous. Let's see. And give a friendly mech this, and then attack. Let's see. Don't want to talk about that game. Gematsu has an article. Square Enix's studio Istolia, I-S-T-O-L-I-A, is seeking Project Prelude rune designers, programmers, and planners. So what does that sentence mean? Their studio is seeking designers, programmers, and planners for development of the February 2017 announced fantasy RPG Project Prelude Rune. Interesting. It's weird that Gematsu would be talking about a company looking for people to hire, because that's the first time I've ever seen that. That's Gamasutra or GameIndustry.biz would make sense.
Move quickly.
Let's see. And we already talked about that one. So we don't need to talk about that again. Gematsu has an article. Langriser, L-A-N-G-R-I-S-S-E-R 1 and 2 full remakes have been announced for the PS4 and Switch. An announcement event is set for August 29th. And there's No real images or hints here. Let's see. Magnetic. Power this up. Some more.
I comply.
Attack here. Attack here in return. Let's see. Development is said to be 50% complete. I don't know really how you can be sure it's 50% or not, but whatever. Moving on, we have a game on Steam called Rangers in the Spider's Den, and Spiders is oddly typed. Looks like a top-down shooter with MS Paint level graphics. Yeah, it's 30% off for 69 cents. No, thank you.
Let me think.
This guy's taking is just AFK. Looks like we've got a cell phone port of a game called Jimmy Kamikaze
Quickly.
on Steam. Seems like you're trying to use clicks on the screen, so you'd have to use a mouse and click to have this falling character fall in the water by eliminating logs. Like, not only does it look super easy, it's in English and Russian, it has 30 achievements, it's 30% off for 69 cents. It looks terrible. So moving on. And we've got that tavern brawl done, good. So now I just need to find some pirates. I may have to build a pirate deck. Will I get an epic? Yes. Will I get a legendary? Doubtful. I think you probably have a very, very low chance of getting a legendary if you're getting an epic. But this is about the 4th or 5th epic I've gotten today. Drop rate seems long. And see, if there was a issue with the drop rate and Blizzard wanted to take back the cards they'd given people, I don't think they could do it. Not without irritating and having a lot of people rage quit the game. It would just be such bad press. And let's go ahead and mark off all these new cards, which aren't new. I'm fairly certain they're not new. There we go. Now if I look at all cards, that one, and that one. And this is a classic card, and this is a Boomsday Project card, so there's no reason at all that those should have shown up. Okay, so the question is, do I have a pirate deck? No I don't. So let's make a pirate deck real quick. Let's see, pirate on my Asian account. And again, type in the word pirate. Okay. We can play these two and these two. And how many of these do we have? We have enough for 18 out of 30, so then the next thing would be to play draw characters. Battlecry draw, that draw, that draw. Okay. And then let's just start to look at some other cards we might want to play. Shadow Step. And maybe some backstabs. Well, whatever. That's enough for that. So, play 6 pirates. I can do that in one game. Deal a bunch of damage. And play a bunch of 2 or less minions. We may have to make a Murloc deck too if I don't play all of those. And I'm ranked 25. I might as well play ranked games though. Tech Raptor has an article. Battle Chef Brigade Deluxe announced it's coming to the PS4. So let's see. Deluxe update will be free to current owners of the PC and Switch and brings with it new playable characters, a few new modes, and a whole host of other changes. What's funny is I have Battle Chef Brigade through Twitch Prime and the Twitch launcher, but I'm never going to remember that and play it. So unless I had it on my Steam account, which I still do want to own it on my Steam account, it's like, well, I technically own it, I don't own it.
Valera versus Rexar.
It's like I just have to be picky on Steam because I have so many games. I know I'll end up buying it a second time at some point anyways. Let's see, what have we got here? No, that's too good of a looking game to talk about. Tech Raptor has an article. Bright and colorful Chicky Chicky, that's CHIKI-CHIKI, Boxy Racers is coming to Switch in August 30th. This looks like a top-down racing game. It's probably coming to Switch through the eStore, I bet, for $9.99. Game is being published by Unity's UNITES, Sony's Music's Entertainment's Japanese-based publishing label. Interesting. I guess if I play this and then return it.
This is our town, scrub. This is our town, scrub.
Yeah, beat it.
Let's see. The Boxy Racers element means that they're kind of polygonal, voxel, blocky. But honestly, this game doesn't look like it's just a cheap, extremely cheap, low effort game, and it is on the Switch. Let's see. Tech Raptor's quick tape as this seems pretty neat. I quite like the art style. I like how colorful and vibrant it is. The game has been out in Japan for a while, and from what I can tell, it was pretty well received. This is a oddly written article. Doesn't seem like people are writing their own opinions, or very well writing their own opinions. It's cool that there's a burgeoning indie scene in Japan, since there never seemed to be a huge one over there as far as I know. Plus $9.99 seems like a very reasonable price point. Yeah, that is not how a quick take should be written. You need details, descriptive words. Let's see. Play this.
The pirate's code.
Play this.
You looking at me?
Not in return. Alright, I'm looking at a English, Simplified Chinese, and Traditional Chinese free-to-play game that apparently is just called 2 Chinese characters and then ER-MO. It says it looks like it is a survival Minecraft style game that has kind of just lazily been made together, if I was to guess. Asset flips type stuff. Let's close that tab. Can't even name the game for certain. Hand is empty. Let's see, let's go and play this.
Let the pain speak to me. You're looking at me.
Today, I don't have to be a princess.
TechRaptor has an article, Metal Wolf Chaos XD delayed into next year. This one's a weird one because I feel like Devolver Digital got the rights to Metal Wolf Chaos XD via a suggestion via Twitter, then quickly put together an announcement, and then is just now delaying it. The announcement was at E3, and it was out of nowhere, certainly, and it seems rather silly now to delay something that nobody was expecting to happen anyways.
Mind if I roll need?
Let's see.
Bring the pain.
Need to probably do as much as possible to
Job's
win.
done.
So yeah, Metal Wolf Chaos XD is delayed. There's not really much more of a story to say there. It's like it shouldn't have been announced in the first place if it was going to be delayed. Let's see. PC Gamer has a article, Deep Dive NVIDIA's RTX 2080 and real-time ray tracing explained. I think I generally understand what ray tracing is, but the article's here for anybody who needs it. I am very much teetering on the thought of maybe just trying to buy a 1080 or a 1080 Ti cheaply instead of trying to buy a 2080, which would be the other option. I have a 970 right now. I'd be very happy to replace it with either a 2070 or a 1070, but I would also like to step up to the 80 series, depending on the price. One of the things I heard is that with the ray tracing enabled, the game's frame rates severely are hampered during even 1080p representation. So unless they get better optimization, let's play Odd Paladin while we're here. The ray tracing features may not be actually usable in the first generation of games that come out when this new video card comes out, or it may not be usable ever. And there is also a chance that there will just be no adoption or using of ray tracing for people, since neither one of the consoles have that. So like, it's not an Xbox One, it's not going to come to Xbox One or PlayStation, so there's anybody who's developing for a console like the PS4 or the Xbox One, they're not going to target ray tracing as a priority. If you're developing for the Switch, you're definitely not going to be targeting ray tracing. So only the enthusiast gamers are going to even be able to... you'd have to be targeting enthusiast gamers solely, who have a lot of money as your major audience. Okay.
The light dims, but we fight.
Let's see. I already talked about this. PC Gamer has an article. Many cryptocurrencies have lost 90% of their value since January. After Bitcoin and other currencies peaked, graphic cards finally came back in stock. At the same time, some investors lost everything. So, yeah, there was a point, it seems like, where you could have bought Bitcoins or mined Bitcoins very, very cheaply 10 or 20 years ago. I don't think it was 20 years ago, 10 years ago, and then waited and then sold them. But I'm not sure if anybody I'm not sure if even one person actually did that. And a lot of people in the meanwhile lost a lot of money. Moving on, Gematsu has an article. Deathmark Limited Edition has been announced for North America. It includes an art book, a soundtrack CD, a tattoo sheet, and a slipcase. It really is a tattoo sheet. Interesting. You don't see those very often. Let's see. 2 silver hand recruits.
Reporting for duty. For justice.
There we go. Let's see. The game will release for the PlayStation 4 and Switch and PS Vita according to Amazon's listing. In North America, is there a date? And it's listed on Amazon for October 31st. Kinda wish I knew more about the game Deathmark though. I guess it's not coming to PC, so that's a pass for me. Magnetic Taunt.
I wonder.
Access denied.
For justice. Reporting for battle.
This
The battle.
and that. And play. Let's skip that. PC Gamer has an article. Watch Doom 3 run hideously on a Windows 98 and a 12 megabyte graphics card. So somehow, through probably an extremely lot of effort, somebody has managed to use, I believe it's saying a Voodoo 2 graphics card and a PC running Windows 98. They managed to get it to work, and it looks horrible, as you would expect. Let's see. Play this.
Deploying countermeasures.
Play this.
The battle. The battle.
This. And
The battle.
this. Let's see.
Job's done.
If I do this, I'll give everything +1, and that would be fine. PC Gamer has an article. Orphan Age is The Sims meets Akira and Grave of the Fireflies, which that is a weird combination of like references. PC Gamer is kind of bad about that too, where they make clickbait articles that reference things to sell new games. The subtitle is not sure this one will have a happy ending. Well, if it's anything like Grave of the Fireflies, it's not. That's probably one of the saddest. You probably shouldn't ever watch it if you can avoid it. Animes ever, Grave of the Fireflies. And let's see what I want to do. I want to play this. I could have done this first.
Reporting for duty.
Oh yeah, that was
For
goofy.
justice.
Well played.
The battle. The battle.
See, that really wasn't a well played, but
To
I
battle.
don't think it matters. Yeah, Open Age is on Steam. Actually, I think I've seen this game before. It's a top-down looking game, but it seems like it's trying to promise a lot of things. I'll put it on the wish list and keep an eye on it. Okay. And where are we now? We are done with everything except for the monster hunt on the Asian account, which I didn't need to switch while doing this. And we've still got a ton of news, and this is even with me skipping the games, which I'll definitely have to do a pass over the weekend and just eliminate games that don't matter, that are just awful, and I'll keep the games that are worth mentioning for Monday. But it also has been an hour, so this is the perfect time to break up the recording again. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, I ask people to friend me on Steam and gift me a game. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.